Hello, I'm Sharon Lowe, Executive Director of Austin Clubhouse. I want to thank you for being here for our We Are Not Alone live party, celebrating the power of community to transform mental illness. It's an honor to be here with you, and I am so grateful to be part of this amazing Clubhouse community that includes members, staff, and you. Mental illness is never chosen. It is not a character flaw. It often descends upon its host like a virus, stealing their dreams of a long and happy life with family and friends. Medical professionals have warned that mental illness is second only to COVID as a public health menace. Worse still, mental illness has increased during COVID. Currently, suicide is the second leading cause of death for people under the age of 34. Austin Clubhouse is first and foremost about community, offering a place and culture of purpose, meaning, and belonging that makes space for mental health recovery and transformation. Formed 11 years ago by a group of mental health advocates associated with NAMI Austin and Integral Care, they believed in the power of community and peer-based non-clinical supports to promote healing and new life options for adults living with mental illness. Our community offers an antidote to isolation, loneliness, and saves lives. At Austin Clubhouse, members and staff are working side by side each day to provide a supportive community where mental health recovery can flourish. Members, not clients or patients, participate in the work of operating Austin Clubhouse and directly contributing to their own and others' recovery. Tonight we'll be sharing our hopes for a better future with you. We'll be honoring two organizations that are leading efforts to bring greater mental wealth to Central Texas with our first Spirit of Community Awards. We'll be honoring the Hogg Foundation for Mental Health, led by Dr. Octavio Martinez Jr., and the Austin Area Mental Health Consumers, better known as The Shack, led by Ms. Shannon Carr. You also hear from two very talented musicians with lived experience, Betty Sue and Paige Renee Berry. You will hear from our members. Most importantly, you will have opportunities to help change the stars for adults living with mental health diagnoses so they can live a richer, more fulfilling life. Thank you so much for being here.
The Austin Clubhouse is a community-based and strives to help members join and remain part of society with educational, pre-vocational, health, and mental health support. It's an evidence-based model based on research. It's a non-clinical approach to mental health, and it began in the 1940s.
Clubhouse participants are called members as opposed to patients or clients. And we focus on our strengths and abilities, not our diagnosis. For 10 years, we have been a part of a worldwide Clubhouse movement with nearly 300 clubhouses in 30 different countries.
Austin Clubhouse has over 1,150 members in Central Texas and continues to grow. There is hope for the future as Austin Clubhouse fully resumes on-site programming. We're back, and we look forward to better days ahead with you at our side.
We invite you to tell your friends and family about Austin Clubhouse and to schedule a tour on Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. and have a wonderful lunch with us afterwards.
Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you click and subscribe, and we appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I joined the Austin Clubhouse 2 years ago. Before I became a member, I was in and out of hospitals. I just needed a place to exist. At first, I needed a place to be and be welcomed and belong. You walk in and you know everybody here has the same issues as me. I don't have to like act a certain way or be a certain way or act like I have this big dirty secret that I'm hiding from everyone. There's really nothing else like it, you know? There's nothing else like the Clubhouse. It's so hard to explain to people what it is. You don't really know until you get in there. It's set up in a way where you can go in and you have that space to get as involved as you want and or not as involved or take a break, and no one's gonna get mad at you for doing that. Everyone is so completely understanding. Everybody gets it. They don't judge you for the problems you've had or what you've been through or the problems you're currently having. It is just such a beautiful place. It really is. And it's been so pivotal for me in recovery because it made me feel so valued. I'm just extremely lucky to be a part of this organization, and I really don't feel like I would have been able to recover without them. I didn't have a good support system at all. I didn't have anyone I could really count on without wanting something in return. It was a place I could go where nobody wanted anything from me. You know, all they wanted was to see me succeed and see me be happy and healthy. I've seen it time and time again with me and with other members, like how different people come out. We just really need to be able to cast a wider net over the community because, you know, therapy is amazing, support groups are amazing, hospitals are amazing if you need that. But what about after that? You know, where do you go after that? Because if you don't have that solid like foundation, that solid support system, you can't go very far. Please donate to this amazing organization. They do such good work. They do the work that actually helps people get better. If you can spare $1, this is something you really believe in. This is the perfect organization to give to so that we can continue to grow and continue to reach more people.
Hello, my name is Shannon Carr. I'm with Austin Area Mental Health Consumers at the Shack. I am the Executive Director, and I wanted to just tell you a little bit about what we do at Austin Area Mental Health Consumers. We are located in a facility called the Shack, located at 3205 South 1st Street. So when you see us, park, get your bus there, and make sure you come in and enjoy all of our services. One of the services that we have is something called our Peer Mentor Program. Our Peer Mentor Program is a one-on-one peer who can sit and talk to you as much or as little as needed, just to help you in guiding your way through wellness and recovery. And then we also have our computer lab, which is open the same times we are. And what we do in there is a lot. We now have it to where we can do webinars. We have brand new computers where you can sit and do what you need to do to make sure you connect with family, connect with jobs, or just to be there and be. That is one of our wonderful opportunities where you come into our office and just be. And then we also have our big room. Anything happens in the big room, from our groups to our parties to any activity that goes on here at the Shack. And so we want to make sure that you enjoy on those things. And last but certainly not least, part of our core programming is our peer support groups. They're all for you, and it's all different for everybody. Wellness and recovery is different for everybody, and we want to make sure that we have something here to help you on your daily journey to recovery. I want to thank Austin Clubhouse for even thinking of us. We have been in existence for over 20 years, and so we are so humbled to receive such a fabulous award, and especially the inauguration of this award. And yes, we have been doing a lot around Austin area mental health consumers and for our membership and for the community, and just making sure that the community is aware of peer support and how peer support can be a true benefit to people with lived mental health, substance use, or homelessness experiences, to find a way back to recovery, to wellness, to their hopes, to their dreams, just to be able to live. We want to make sure that people know that you are a part of a smaller issue of you, just the way that you're able to continue to live your life with a piece of you that you learn about every single day. Everything that we have done has been from our heart and because we love to help our peers. And we've been just a little known treasure.
What gives me hope is seeing other people have their aha moment, that we have finally taught them something or have given them the opportunity to believe in themselves and something that will help them continue to move on and be stronger. That makes me know that we're doing the right thing, that we are doing what we're here for Austin area mental health consumers, for the Shack, for this community, and especially for an individual.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to give a big thank you to Sharon Lowe, Sherry Blythe, and all the members of the Austin Clubhouse for the inaugural Spirit of Community Award. Spirit. I looked it up in the dictionary, Merriam-Webster, and it says, an animating or vital principle held to give life to physical organisms. I think that is just so key and important, that word spirit. And so I'm just really excited about the Hogg Foundation receiving this Spirit Award, and for the Austin Clubhouse to recognize how important spirit really is. And so what I'd like to do and start with, if you will allow me, is to take a moment to honor Stephanie Bryan's spirit. Stephanie, many of them I'm sure of you knew and know, was a member of the Hogg Foundation staff. She was with me, for the past 10 years, ever since I took over the Hogg Foundation. And we miss her dearly. We lost her to COVID-19. And I know many of you also have lost loved ones, colleagues, friends, or people you just knew. This pandemic is affecting all of us, and we know that. And so with that, it really reminded me, getting the Spirit of Community Award, what an amazing thing could have been to have Stephanie here with us. On October 24th in 2011, I'd like to actually quote some of her own words in reference to this, because I think it's just so apropos. And so, quote, as I look back to last month's excitement and activities around recovery, it gave me the opportunity to reflect back on my own journey of recovery. I remember that there wasn't a magical cure, there wasn't a special therapy session, and there wasn't a magical word. It was indeed a process of regaining my physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional balance. I'd experienced illness, crisis, and trauma, and needed to accept the illness and its associated challenges. I also had to adjust my attitudes and my beliefs, as well as my life roles and goals. For me, recovery was the ability to work, the ability to live in housing of my own choice, to be with my children, family, and friends, and to be a contributing member of my community. Recovery was a process of healing and restoring health and wellness during episodes of illness and life stressors. Recovery is not equated with cure, but rather viewed as an ongoing process in which I was vulnerable to relapse and increased symptoms. Close quotes. Those are words from Stephanie Bryan. And they really resonated with me, especially thinking about talking with you, as well as thinking about that word spirit, and to have that inaugural award, which is such a huge honor for the Hogg Foundation and for my staff. Because obviously it was all of us together working toward recovery and on the principles of it that I believe was one of the reasons you decided to choose us to receive an inaugural award of such magnitude. And so Stephanie and Tammy Hines also would like to add, believe it if you don't know, they were probably one of the most important decisions I made when I first became executive director of the Hogg Foundation in 2008. Because they were my very first two hires. And they were started by, I didn't create it, but I have taken a lot of credit for it now, but it was actually under Dr. King Davis and his staff that came up with the concept of adding to the foundation a consumer and family liaison position, but combined as also being a program officer. And Tammy Hines, Stephanie Bryan, as I just said, were the first two I hired, individual lived experience. And that really was just a catalytic moment for the Hogg Foundation. It really started to change who we were as an organization. The contributions these two program officers and consumer family liaisons have done for Hogg has just been truly amazing. And I think it reflects in the fact that you guys are recognizing us today for the work that we have done. And one of the things that led to was those two positions, which were now part of the program team at Hogg. And so how we looked at grants, how we looked at activities, the discussions we had internally, slowly over time began to change and really incorporate those principles of recovery and understanding what it means to have a lived experience in mental illness or in substance use or in both. And the next step we took was, which made logical sense as we progressed as an organization, is we created positions on my National Advisory Council. So Hogg Foundation has a National Advisory Council made up of 10 individuals from across the state and the nation with experience that we're looking for. And it only made sense we need to look for folks with lived experience. And so we changed the makeup of our National Advisory Council as well. And then, what then started happening was truly incorporating an understanding and making grants that were supporting peers and the philosophy of recovery. We then partnered with Health and Human Services Commission, State of Texas. They had a SAMHSA grant to be able to look at this. This is all new, right, for many of you, going back almost a decade now. But we partnered with them, and then we had internal expertise with Tammy and Stephanie. We had folks with expertise of lived experience on the National Advisory Council as well, to be able to then develop what we now know has become Via Hope. So that was a huge development for the state of Texas, but also for the nation. And we were there, and you were there, because we didn't do this alone. And then there was in Corpus Christi in 2016, and I have to say it was probably the most fun I've ever had at one of our conferences. And I love all our conferences. Robert Lee Sutherland conferences, Young Minds Matter. There's some really neat stuff that we, the Hogg Foundation, get to develop and create with our communities. But PeerFest, that really ranks right up there. And that was so amazing because we actually moved to the concept of allowing the community, individual lived experience, created their own steering committee who oversaw and helped develop that, instead of just Hogg staff doing it. What a huge advancement that was for us, and it was an amazing learning experience. And look at the product. It was just totally amazing. We can't wait till we can put on the next PeerFest. And so, as I think about, and I've been asked to think about, innovative, things or mental health solutions that Hogg has done or is thinking about, I think I've just named quite a few. And they all have been around peer and recovery. And more is to come. Because I think the field, though it's been around a very long time, for those of you who have championed and helped to bring it to where it is today, you know how much hard work it has been to get recognized, to be seen as evidence-based, to create the clubhouses that are now still popping up, which is fantastic. Not to mention other non-clinical approaches to recovery and making that part of actually the evidence-based treatment approach. And still wanting to educate the clinical model as we're working on. And so I think that's where we continue to, see innovation and will see innovation. And together we will create new innovative ways. So increasing peer-involved and non-clinical mental health support as a way to bridge the gap between community mental health needs and available resources, I think, is still on the table for decades to come. Because even though the Clubhouse has been around for a very long time, that model and concept, peers, then moving on to certified peers, peer specialists, and then moving them into different arenas, not just in the outpatient setting, right? But now also there's inpatient. There's some that are forensic focused. There is no area really in our mental health substance use system that I think a certified peer or a peer volunteer cannot actually be involved in because it's value added. And that is still to become part really of the system. We've made great strides, but there's still so much more we need to do. And therein lies, I think, the future of mental health recovery. And I really ask, and we need to do the same, together, continue to create that information and database. Some of the things that you guys do and that we're helping and that we're funding and doing, we need to put it to paper and get it into journals and things and articles. Why? Because it then becomes part of the information database that others can look to and learn from. And it continues to move that needle toward understanding and truly how the peer recovery model is an evidence-based model. In 2011, SAMHSA recognized it as a Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. But we need to still work with and infuse that model into the allopathic medical model. I'm a psychiatrist by training, so I was trained into that model. And when I was trained, none of these concepts were brought to my attention. It was really a huge information gap. But we are slowly changing that, where now it is becoming part of not only the experience, but the knowledge base for the medical students and physicians of tomorrow. I think that's where there's some work still to be done. Not to mention other important non-clinical approaches that should become part of the overall holistic approach to the care that one should receive. Because you've already shown how big a difference that really makes. And the Hogg Foundation is just honored that we have been partnering with you, and then now we've been recognized by you by receiving the Spirit of Community Award. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Padrone Berry, and I'm in an Austin band called Half Dream, and I am here to talk to you about my mental health journey. I was contacted to perform at the We Are Not Alone event because I am a very vocal mental health advocate. Something I wanted to touch on is the idea of community. Having community and having our friends, like-minded friends, is crucial because it's representation. Through my work with Sims, I was able to get a psychiatrist and get on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, which has truly, again, saved my life. Quite literally, I've been in crisis a handful of times at this point. I'm still here, and I'm glad. It's not always easy. The only way out is through, but it makes it a lot easier when you feel supported and seen and that you don't feel alone. There are other people who are going through the exact same things, and when we put voice to those fears, it helps quell them. Name it to tame it. Last thing, you are inherently valuable by virtue of being here on this planet. There's nothing you could do that will ever take that away or change it. And I love you, and I believe in you. Woo! Let's play some songs. Here is Roses. Roses in the garbage, mixed in with the compost. I know not everything means something. Burned up with the feeling your hand happens when I'm happy? Will I be any less of a poet? Have I been living, or have I been cold? I felt so I found me in the forest. I bathed in the cool spring. I saw my fear and I cried. Have I been living, or have I been cold? I felt so warm. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Betty Sue, and I'm a singer-songwriter right here in Austin, Texas. And I'm so pleased to be doing this short concert for you and for the Clubhouse. And I'm so grateful for the people in my life and who have helped me over the years to try to maintain balance and who check in on me when they see maybe some signs that things aren't going so well. And I'm grateful for the people who let me into their lives to check in on them. I wrote this song, and it's called Dreams.
You've come a long, hard way, but still some days you still feel all on your own. Other days you wish you'd gotten clean alone. Months of tears you didn't notice when your fears of every crushing sunrise replaced your dreams inside. It's time for longing, hope and wanting, wishes and yearning for the dreams that burn in you. I know it feels like make-believe when dreams seem so far out of reach, but that's the thing about dreams. I know love left you low, but that's all I know. A bigger story there, but we never talked about the hard things until you locked me out, and now somehow you're making an art of laying open your broken heart. It's time for longing, hope and wanting, wishes and yearning for the dreams that burn in you. I know it feels like make-believe when dreams seem so far out of reach, but that's the thing about dreams. It's time for longing, hope and wanting, wishes and yearning for the dreams that burn in you. I know it feels like make-believe when when dreams seem so far out of reach. But that's the thing about dreams.
Well, I so appreciate this opportunity to share my music with you, and I hope that it resonates. Thanks again so much for listening and watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.